Hello everyone, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we're gonna do the detailed camera review of the Lenovo K8 Note. So this is the Lenovo's first smartphone with a dual camera. So we have a dual camera setup on the rear panel. We have a 13 megapixel camera with f-stop 2.0 and additional secondary 5 megapixel camera for depth sensing, and we have dual LED flash. And on the front panel we have another 13 megapixel camera and with LED flash and again f-stop 2.0. So that was the camera hardware of the Lenovo K8 Note. So we'll go detail into the camera review. So first up, let's have a look at the interface of this camera. So you can see that opening up the camera interface, you can see the typical Moto interface. We have the option to choose the modes. So professional mode, then we have, you can see professional mode allows you to change ISO, white balance, exposure levels, etc. Then we have video mode, panorama, and the normal photo mode. So these are the modes available, and on the left side we have the HDR mode. Auto HDR is also included. Then there is option to enable flash, timer mode, and this is the normal mode and depth enable mode. So we'll just come back to this mode. Before that, if you go to the settings, you can see photo size is 4:3, aspect ratio at 13 megapixel, 16:9 at 9.8, and video recording is limited to full HD. So there is no support for 4K recording on this device. Now the front facing camera is a 13 megapixel shooter, and again with f-stop 2.0. Now let's come to the most important aspect, the dual camera. So we have two modes. One is the normal mode where it takes the normal photos, and depth enabled mode. So this is something like the bokeh mode which we have seen on even on the Honor 6X as well. What it does is what you can focus the object of which you are taking the photo, and then you can change the bokeh. So you can go from f-stop 1.2 to f-stop 2.8, and the default mode is f-stop 1.8. So based on how much background blur you need, you can change these values. So that's the camera interface of the Lenovo K8 Note. Now let's go straight into the camera samples which we have taken with this device. So here are the daylight shots taken with the Lenovo K8 Note. So looking at the photos taken in daylight conditions, you could see that there is plenty of detailing in the photos. The colors are pretty much natural, and whatever you see on the photo is actually almost close to natural colors. So that's one really good thing which Lenovo has done with this camera, and there is no oversaturation of images, and the colors were pretty much natural, and the sharpness levels are also impressive. So in terms of the daylight experience, this device performed pretty well, and even the close-up images, the focusing was pretty much spot on and does a really good job with respect to the detailing. So in the daylight conditions, the camera performed exceptionally well, and this is one of the really good cameras out there in this price point, providing great overall experience. So the rear camera, the 13 and 5 megapixel combination does a really good job. There is a vast improvement in terms of the camera performance when compared to the previous Note series, the Lenovo's K5 Note and K6 Note. There's a huge difference in terms of the camera performance, and this is really one of the good cameras out there in this price segment. Now going to the low light samples taken with this device. Here again the camera impressed us with the low light performance, and you could see some of the low light captures which we have taken with this device, and the rear 13 megapixel camera did a quite good job in terms of the detailing. The noise levels are kept to minimal, and overall it does produce some really good results in terms of the low light performance. So again the low light experience was also pretty good, similar to the daylight captures, and the camera did a really good job with respect to the low light performance. Now looking at the video recording, the 1080p sample taken with this device was quite average. It was not really that great. The sharpness levels was not that great when you compare with the photos taken with the rear camera. The video recording was not that impressive, but still overall for the segment it's quite acceptable levels. And now looking at the selfie experience of the Lenovo K8 Note, we are quite impressed with the selfie performance. It has a 13 megapixel shooter with f-stop 2.0, and it did a quite good job of producing good selfies all around. And this phone also comes with an LED flash for the front facing camera. That means you can even take selfies in low light, and we also did take selfies in low light, which came out quite well when you are running on a low light performance. Then the selfie flash is quite useful. So that was the selfie experience. Overall, again, a really good selfie camera in the sub 15K price point. Now finally talking about how the depth enabled mode performed. So here one thing what we noticed that the depth enabled mode was kind of inconsistent with the performance. And here one thing what we noticed is that the subject, if it is blend to the surroundings, the bokeh mode does not work that well. But if the subject is detached from the background, then the bokehs turned out to be quite well. The depth enabled mode is not able to identify the boundaries of the subject, and hence there is a lot of blurring happening towards the edges of the subject. So that doesn't make a really great blurred background when shooting with the depth enabled mode. So depth enabled mode is not consistent. So here if you want to edit the depth enabled mode, you can click here and there is a depth editor available, and here there are 4 modes included. Selective black and white is there, selective focus is there, replace background is also included. So selective black and white, so just select the item where you want the color to happen, and rest all will be black and white. So that's how it works. Then there is also selective focus. So this is very important. As I said before, the bokeh mode was not that great in terms of selecting the subject from the background. So if at all there is a lot of blurring happening, what you can do is just go to the editor, select the subject once again, and this results in better depth enabled mode. So this issue can be definitely fixed with software updates, and we are sure that Lenovo would be working on this update, because the depth enabled mode is kind of inconsistent as of now. But it definitely does a good job if you are going to edit it later. So that's where the depth enabled mode does a good job. Now you can also see the background can be removed, and only that item is available. So these are some of the really useful tools available with the depth enabled mode, and while it does a quite good job overall, it's not really consistent. So we are expecting Lenovo to fix this issue. So that is the camera performance and review of the Lenovo K8 Note. So easily Lenovo K8 Note is definitely one of the good camera smartphones in this price point, be it the rear camera, the low light performance, or the front facing camera. Everywhere it does a quite good job overall. And one area where it needs improvement is the depth enabled mode, where the bokeh modes are not consistent, and it definitely needs an improvement. And the video recording can also be improved with software updates. And also there is no 4K recording support. That's probably Lenovo has not included. We are assuming that Deca Core processor definitely has 4K support, but maybe Lenovo has not enabled it yet. So that was the camera review of the Lenovo K8 Note. Definitely it's a big thumbs up from us. It's a really good camera out there. We are expecting Lenovo to fix some minor issues on this camera. So that's all guys with the dual camera review of the Lenovo K8 Note. Hope this video was useful. Do hit the like button and also hit the red subscribe button below for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.